Hi, welcome to my channel, Reader Woman. My name's Judy, and let's talk book tags. I wanted to do the Boujee Booktuber Tag. This was created by a book olive, and I've linked to her original video. So this is her original tag, and I really liked it. So we're going to start off with question number 1. What is your average monthly budget for books? I don't have one. Never have. And in fact, I struggle, you know, it's like I am more of an impulse buyer. So, and I am like a crow. You know, things bright and shiny, I want it. So books are my bright and shiny things. So I'm not disciplined, I guess is what I'm saying, with my book buying. Not that I'm buying books all the time, but then when I was really thinking about this question, I'm probably buying a book or two a month, depending on when and where and what. So anyways, that's number 1. Number 2, what's the most you've ever spent in a bookstore? In a bookstore, I don't know that I would have bought more than maybe 125, 150. I really can't think of a specific moment, but I don't know that I would have spent tremendously. Normally what happens is I get gift cards for Barnes & Noble for birthdays and stuff like that. So I have these gift cards that I take over there, and so between a combination of you know, actually money to spend and my own hard-earned money having to spend, you know, I usually, you know, it can get quite pricey in that sense because I'm using other people's money as well as my own. Number 3, are you willing to pay full price for a brand new release, or will you wait until you have a coupon or there's a sale? I do both. I absolutely had to have David McCullough's The Pioneers, so I went to Barnes & Noble and bought it because I wanted it hardback and I needed it now. Typically when I go to Barnes & Noble, I go up and down the sale racks and mainly buy there for, you know, like Ellen Hildebrand. I don't mind buying last year's novel of hers, you know, for $6 or $7. It's like, yeah, I'm fine with that. Occasionally it's like, oh my gosh, I need to read this, and so I go and buy it now, but I'd like to say I've gotten better at that, but so yeah, I do both. I really do. I've never gotten a coupon for a book, but it is the one thing I have to say that I do like about Barnes & Noble is they do have a good sales section, and it's not just all crap. So anyways, number 4, would you rather buy one new book or several less expensive used copies? I enjoy going to the used bookstores here in Bellingham. I do not always consider them to be cheap. Sorry, I thought I heard something. There's a window over there and I was like thinking I was gonna see something scary, but nope, it's just fine. Okay, back to the question. Um, okay, I'm getting back on track. I'm in a house by myself, so, and it's at night, so, okay. New book or several less expensive. Like I said, I enjoy the used bookstores that we have here in Bellingham. I think they do a nice job. They're not super cheap by any means. The one I went to a few weeks ago was probably more reasonably priced, Eclipse in Fairhaven, than Henderson's downtown. So it kind of depends. Plus, they don't have everything. And I guess that's one thing. When I'm looking for a book, I want a book. I want a particular book. So, I'm perfectly fine buying a used copy, but you know, I need the copy of the book I want. And, you know, when I'm just browsing and stuff like that, obviously the used bookstore is a lot better bang for your buck. Sometimes. So, yeah, but I do look at the cost of my books. Always have. 5, what do you think is a reasonable price for a new hardback book, a paperback, an ebook? Well, hardback, I think a hardback should be between $18 to $25, $27, something like that. I think that they've gotten so expensive, and yet it's my preferred form of buying books anymore. Yeah, because I have a library that is full of mass market paperbacks that are falling apart. So, you know, after many years of reading them over and over and over again, they need to be replaced. So, I mean, I say this, but I haven't really done it yet. I need to replace my mass market paperbacks with decent quality hardbacks because I want them long term. So that's one of my goals. A paperback. You know, I think it all depends. If it's a nice quality paperback, you know, with or without the French flaps, which are nice, and I think they mean that the paperback is made better. You know, anywhere from like $9 to probably, well, maybe $14 seems reasonable. Anyways, that's my feeling. And an ebook. And I do have to agree with most everybody that ebooks are too expensive. But with that being said, it's not just, as I've found out, it's not just as simple as taking that text that you've published that book with and doing it up and you've got an ebook. An ebook is actually a website in and of itself, self-contained, that allows for multiplicity of format and, you know, for your tablet versus your phone versus your computer if you read on your computer. But there's more to it than just, you know, putting text, your word text out and saying, okay, here's this ebook. But I think they're far too expensive. And I also think that, and publishers, take note of this, I think that if you've bought a copy of the book, hardback, and even paperback. If you've bought a new copy of that, perhaps on your receipt. And I realize the problem with this is because you have Barnes & Noble versus independent bookstores versus, everything else, Amazon, and, and everybody is wanting their cut and they're not wanting to work together. But if you've bought the hardback, shouldn't you be able to get the ebook at a discount, a very significant discount? I think so. I'm all for that since I'm an ebook reader. I really don't think, though, they should be charging, I think they should be charging between like $1.99 to $5.99 is what I think they really should be charging. And yet most of them start at $9.99 and go on up. So, but saying that, when I was rereading Persuasion by Jane Austen, I got the free ebook, which wasn't as good. And I can't quite put my finger what was missing, but it definitely showed a lack of love when they were creating that ebook. So definitely better than reading a PDF. I'm not saying that, but yeah, a little bit more could have gone into it. So anyways, there is still a value to me in ebooks, but I think they're wanting too much for them as well. Particularly since people like me are buying both. It's like by the time you buy a hardback, that's probably $30, and then you have to put in another, 11. Suddenly to read one book is, over $40. So, yeah, that's unfair. Number 6, is a signed book worth more to you? How about a first edition? I'm not a book collector for value. However, I have found over time signed books, or books that I have that are signed by the author where I've actually got to meet the author, have a lot more meaning for me. So, I do find that an enhancement. Would I buy a book just because it was signed? Unless I really liked the edition, probably not. However, I have bought books that were signed, and I'm glad to have those signatures. So anyways, it's kind of a mixed bag there. Number 7, what is your most valuable book? Sentimental or actual value? Well, I pulled out 2. My first one, because it's so funny. This is something that is priceless to me. This little mass market paperback that, oh my gosh, published in 1985, but assigned to Judy by Tom Robbins. And not only is it because it's signed, but it's because he signed it after I got the opportunity to tell him my personal story about his work and how it affected one of my classes in college. So yeah, this particular one, it means a lot to me. I had him sign some other books, but this is the one. This is the one that matters. And, once again, I'm not into the book selling. However, my copy of The Confessions of an English Opium Eater by Thomas De Quincey, illustrated by Sonia Wolf, it's one of my favorite books. And it's so funny because I was probably, maybe 20 21 at the time, I went to a library book sale. And this was sitting out there. I mean, I think I paid like 50 cents for it or something, but it was published in England in 1930, and it has these beautiful illustrations. And the other cool thing, if you can see it, when I got it, not all the pages had been separated. So I got to cut the pages. It was so cool. Anyways, this is not a first edition by any means, but it's my favorite, and I feel lucky to own it. So yeah. Number 8, will you pay more for a cover or edition you like better? Absolutely. I just proved that. Yes, I will. Because we live with our books. I live with my books. I want to make sure that, I mean, they give me pleasure. I look at them every day. You know, I come into this office. I'm always looking at, you know, the books on the shelves and over here and in my bedroom. I'm constantly scanning them. They give me pleasure. And I think maybe in a way that artwork gives some people pleasure too. So anyways, definitely, I am superficial. Number 9, what physical characteristics does a good quality book have? Well, I think it's sturdy, you know, like this thing. It's not going to fall apart. You know, sewn, you know, pretty pictures in there. No, just kidding. But yeah, I think it needs to be strong, sturdy, and well made. If I'm just buying a book at the supermarket, I don't expect a well-made book there. But when I go to a bookstore, I do. Let's see here. Number 10, if I won the lottery, what bookish things would you do with the money? Well, it all depends on how much that lottery was. I mean, obviously, I've always had bookshelves. Now granted, the bookshelves that you see are an improvement over when I was growing up. Mom and Dad, we had those brackets on the wall with the shelves that came out, and so, and in fact, I'm in my bedroom at one of the houses. My bed was put under that, and the books went all the way up to the ceiling. And I did have some nightmares at night. There was gonna be an earthquake, and they were gonna fall all over me and kill me. But they didn't. And but my dream would be to have built-in bookcases, and to have a few of the books that I've always yearned for. You know, I'd love a first edition of Ulysses. You know, there's a lot of little things like that I would love to do. And if I were Bill Gates wealthy, we would do something about the Bellingham Public Library and make sure that all the books are available to all the clients, to all the public, 7 days a week, you know, with night hours. So anyways, we would be revamping what the library means to the city of Bellingham and do a much better job, because I would be a main contributor and making some changes. So I could actually visit it every once in a while. Yeah, I mean, bookish ways, I think that would be, you know, the main thing. I would actually house my library in a very elegant way, and as well as increasing it, obviously, and then doing some community good with it. And then as a bonus, there's give us an image, actual or mental, of your dream home library. Well, being one of those not so technologically savvy people, I couldn't come up with it. So I thought I would show you. I mean, this would be the built-in, not, let's see here, not that I would need anything quite that intricate, but I would love to have built-in shelves, ceiling to floor. But there's also something about this, as well as having, you know, which is nice having those clear story windows, but to have a table and chairs and although it doesn't show it here, but to have like a couch and seating, comfortable, soft seating, as well as a desk area to actually do work at. I think to me that's all combined together in what a library should be. You know, functional as well as beautiful. So that's the Boujee Booktuber Tag. Anyways, if you've watched this, please consider yourself tagged. I'd love to hear you answer all these questions. Anyways, take care and we'll talk again soon. Bye.